Hello guys, this is a really quick video from How to 200SX here, and today we're going to be changing the gauge cluster on a 200SX. Now I believe this should be the same way on the Sentra, but I'm just going to show you how to change this. This is my old one. We're going to be putting it back in because we're going to be customizing this gauge cluster. I just wanted to check that it worked. So you got all these plugs here. You want to make sure when you take these out, you wiggle them very gently. If any of these breaks, you are screwed, okay? Your gauge cluster is quite possibly the most important part of your vehicle. It tells you how fast you're going. It tells you your RPMs. It tells you if there's a check engine light. It tells you if you need more oil, etc., etc. It is very important not to break these plugs. So take your time and be very careful. Now, I'm going to show you exactly where all these plugs go, but I can't do it while I'm doing it, and I'm going to explain why. So I obviously can't get a camera angle in there. It's going to be very, very tight. And what you want to start with is you want to start with these two. These two are going to be the hardest ones to connect. Now this one right here will go into this plug. When you plug these in, just gently push them in. Do not slam them in because you could snap these wires. Now you want to take your time also taking these out. I'm going to do a little demonstration with this invisible one. So you want to press here. And when you press here, that will release the pressure to let you pull it out. Just wiggle it out and pull. Wiggle, pull. Same thing with these. You're going to want to squish these in. You see how these kind of loosen that so you can take it out? Make sure you gently squeeze and pull out. Gently squeeze and pull out. You want to do that with all these plugs. Now, this plug is right here. I don't know what these plugs exactly are or what they exactly do, but I know they go in these correct spots. So we're going to call this plug number 1 because you want to plug this one in first. So plug number 1 will go into here. Little plug number 2, right here, will go up in here. Make sure it's facing this way. Do not put it in the other way because it'll break. You'll also notice that these plugs do have different shapes on them. This side has kind of a longer, elongated groove while this side is short. It doesn't have that little guard. Same thing with all these. They all have the same design, except they're slightly modified. They're slightly different. So plug 2 goes into there. Plug 3, may have guessed it, goes right here. And plug 4 will go right into here. So I'm going to plug this all in, and then I'll see you when it's done. Okay, so now that you got all your plugs in, make sure they just click in, and make sure they can't come out. If they can't come out just by you pulling on them gently, then you're good. Now this one I'm questioning a little bit, but it should be fine. It looks pretty even. So yeah, we might be good. Either way, we'll find out when we fire this thing up. So how you exactly put this back in is you want to go on an angle. Kind of like this. This is hard to do with one hand. While also not making sure you snap anything off. Again, this is very hard to do with one hand. Okay, so basically just hold your steering column down while pushing that in at that angle. It should slide right in. Now reposition it just like that. So it was like this. I pushed it back. I pulled it forward, pushed it back, and it slides right into where it's supposed to go. Now, before you put your screws in, make sure you start it up and make sure everything works the way it's supposed to. So let's put back on our steering wheel here. Okay, let's put our other gauge cluster to the side. Now let's start it up. So RPMs work. Everything is working as it should. So let's just double check. lights on. Right there is my high beams. Lights off. Temperature gauge. RPMs. Obviously, it's not going to happen while I'm in park. But point of the matter is, I know this will work if everything else is. Now, the best way to check is just take a ride down the road. I'm not going to do that because I'm pretty confident that the miles per hour is going to correctly move. I don't know the exact wording for that. But yeah, the main reason I am changing gauge clusters is, number one, this goes to an SER. It has white gauges. And number two, I was younger. I thought it would be funny to have, you know, anime girls on my gauge cluster because it's a Japanese brand car. And it was for a little bit, but it's kind of turned into cringy, kind of a cringy part of my car because now I'm trying to actually make the thing look nice. So, yeah. So I'm going to show you how to install the rest of your gauge cluster. Now, if you're taking it apart, just do this all in reverse. Now, I will say it is very nice to have a quick release while doing this because you don't have a steering wheel in your way. But not everybody has a quick release, and in some states, it's very illegal to have a quick release. So, you put down your steering column as low as you can, because you're going to need to. And absolutely make sure, positively, please make sure that you get these screws in the correct place. Take your time. Even if you need to put down your switches, take your time. And this is a neat little screwdriver here. I will say that. Don't over tighten this, by the way. Just enough so it's nice and tight. Just like that. Not over tightened at all. So you're going to get your next screw and you're going to put it right in there. You're going to tighten that bad boy too. Again, putting down your switches or whatever won't turn them on outside the car, so you'll be fine. Wow, I'm really struggling on this one. So again, just enough so it's tight. Don't want to over tighten it. It's just there to hold the cluster. Now these dudes, you want to absolutely make sure you get them all in. Now unfortunately, I only have one screw. So these dudes also look like they go on an angle. Oh, wait, I know what's going on. Okay, so these guys don't tighten them all the way down. I didn't take them out either, and you don't have to either. Just pull your cluster forward and literally just hand tighten this guy on. Like I said, I only have one, so I can't show you the other side, but it should be the same concept. Once it's hand tightened in there, literally just tighten the boy with a screwdriver. Probably can't really see. I'm sorry. Again, just enough till it's tight. Don't overdo it. Let's go to these other guys and tighten them as well. Once I can apparently get my screwdriver on there. There we go. This thing is amazing. Just a tool I'm borrowing because I didn't feel like getting out my toolbox. Okay, so make sure it's nice and secure. We'll move on to the next step. Okay, now we are in the final stage, guys. This is very, touchy. You got to think about it like I've said before in other videos. This is 90s plastic. Very, very old, very, very brittle. And if you have it in as good as condition as I do, you do not want to break this. These go for about almost $40 on eBay. So the best way to put these in is put them in so it's facing like that and kind of wiggle it in. That's the best way I could describe it to you while holding down your steering column. You just got to kind of push it in and wiggle it. Because you do not want to snap this at all. You want to get past that point. I know this is terrible. This is a terrible video on describing how to put this thing back in. But basically you want to go push this down. While holding this down, you got to push this back and wiggle it. Push back, wiggle. And then you will get it exactly where it needs to be. Do not force this in if it will not go in. Just try pushing this down. If it does not go in while pushing it down, take it out. Try a different route. You do not want to break this. This is a very hard part to break. Or very easy part to break. I'm sorry. So let's quickly wrap up this video. Put your screw in. Tighten the boy. Again, don't go too tight. You just want it in there enough to hold this in. Now let's go with the other one. Again, putting it in. Try to hand tighten it if you can. Sometimes these go in here at very weird angles. Not even gonna lie. And that's not it, Chief. So hold. Okay. Like I said, very weird angles. Because this guy was at an entirely different angle. So now put your boot back up. Actually, put up your steering column. Put back up that boot. Put on your steering wheel. I'm trying to do this fast because my battery's almost dead. And start the car. Make sure everything works. And you should be good. Which, yep, everything does. So, if you guys want to see more how-to videos on a 200SX or B14 Sentra, please subscribe and like this video. I'm trying to make, basically every single time I work on this car, I'm trying to make a video about it. So, there's not a lot of videos of these things out there, so I'm trying to change that. Hopefully I could get my brother into doing this too. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.